Yeah, that was just like clean dodges
missing,
from him like the entire time.
well, missing the flute back dodge there was really bad.
Yeah, that hurt a lot.
At,
I
at,
must
at the
have been
very
like,
least, you should be trying to feint the backstagger, because you might be able to feint that and then still block a side kick. You might get like rabbit punched, but that's alright. Better than getting side kicked or fluted. We're kind of low health though, so that kind of sucks. I don't mind when he's camping low back fist you pressing front stagger, even if you're behind, because it's almost an even trade. Hold on, go back a second, go back a second. Go back to, yeah. Alright, you're gonna go out of stamina here. Couldn't
yeah,
remember why. Alright, so go back for a second. So, I want you to go to the moment right before you spinning high kick. Right. So, you side kick and then you don't do anything, right? So, one thing I've noticed about step canceling, right? So you do a move. If you just stand there, right, and you bronze link the move like really late, you don't get any stamina regeneration. But if you hold forward as if to step cancel, right, because spinning high kicks in your alt, so it doesn't matter, right?
right.
Spinning high kicks in your alt,
Yeah,
right? You'll get the stamina regen. You'll notice this if you try to step cancel like a temple knock underneath string. You'll notice. If you pay attention, you'll notice this. So if you held forward after the side kick, you might get just enough stamina, or if you watch yourself start regenerating stamina, you might then have enough. Because honestly, I don't hate the spinning high kick press. What I hate is running out of stamina.
mm-hmm.
So, and we'll see what it costs you in a sec. So let it go. Costs you a flute, rabbit punch. Yeah, it costs you a flute and a rabbit punch.
Yeah. I was
Now,
fortunate that it was close to the end of that round, so I got my health back, but
yeah,
I didn't need to take that.
yeah, you are lucky that. Well, I shouldn't say lucky, but it's good that you got your health back.
Also, back stagger attempt.
Yeah, I like the pressure. That's a good backstagger. Yeah, that was a solid round of just like dealing with this stuff. Like, yeah, you're gonna take some damage sometimes. Taking damage is inevitable, but just kept control of the round. Oh, I think that was a late side
Mm,
stagger.
very late.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. You have to know the stoppers there.
Oh,
Uh,
that would have
Uh,
been perfect under pressure.
hold on. I go back for a second. I want to see that spinning high kick again.
I don't know if it was in range. That was early.
What I
Really
don't know
early.
is if he has stamina to block it or not. Or no, he doesn't. It would have hit. It would have hit.
Yeah,
Yep, it would have hit.
I saw him backing up, and I think that's what caused me to hesitate. But I think that might have hit. Yeah, that was
That would
just
have hit.
close.
Your confirm might have whiffed, but it would have hit. Spinning high kick actually has deceptive amount of range. And he was walking away in front stance, which is slower than walking away in back stance.
That's awkward.
Yeah, so here, go back to that front stagger. Because this is how you have to think about it, right? So your front stagger gets stopped by the stopper, right? And then you front stagger again.
That's a whole flip. Yeah.
Okay, so you got to do some quick maths here, right? Hold on, pause the video. Right, doing some quick maths, right?
I will be back.
All right, reverse elbow is got what frame advantage?
It's 6, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 6-6, right? And then 20 minus 6.
14.
And what's the startup of front stagger?
15.
So you're gonna get hit, and it's gonna be a really bad trade. And right now you're kind of evenish, right? So like, if you were taking a 12 or a 13 through the front stagger, even if you're even, right, you're gonna be behind for a moment. But you're saying, well, I can do more with my turn than he can, and that can be okay sometimes. You know, front stagger's a tool, and you have to make him.
Gotta respect it.
Yeah, you got to make him respect it. But when you just get stopped like that, if you front stagger again, you're gonna take a bad trade.
Yeah,
Unless it's spinning high kick, but there's not many people doing stoppers into spinning high kick. And if they are doing a stopper into spinning high kick, they have a 17 mix up. So it's like, it's still like a terrible trade for you. So yeah, taking this front stagger after getting stopped here is kind of bad.
I needed to pump the brakes.
Right, because how many times has he either thrown flute or you've gotten hit by flute, right?
A few times.
You've gotten hit by flute a few times. You back staggered it maybe 2 times. Well, 2 times that I can remember, maybe more. But most of the times you're either eating it or you're avoiding it, right? He hasn't fainted it, is my point. So, yeah, this is gonna be bad. So let it go for a bit. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, that was a disrespectful spinning high too. I need to stop doing that.
Oh.
Yeah, that should have been feinted like super hard. That spinning high.
Like the mash. I think you can backstagger that side kick, but I'm not sure. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. It was almost good.
Decision.
It was almost good. Go back for a sec. Well, I want to watch that last stock again. Yeah, this is good. Oh, that backstagger ghost range sucks. So there's, this side stagger. I want to know why the hell you side staggered there. You might not remember now, but
it was probably just reflex. Like, I just felt like I had to
go back for a sec. I want to see that side stagger again. Yeah, so he's camping his temple knock axe kick stance, right? Or is it face back fist burr? No, it's face back fist burr. Right? You have to think he's gonna mash with face back fist. But at that point, right, like just normal step canceling pressure would have done the trick. Because then you do a side stagger, you're -1, and he gets his turn back, and he get hit 2 or 3 times for it. So And also, your staggers cost a lot of stamina when they don't avoid shit. So you run into stamina troubles later in that stock, and you have to make some guesses, and you weren't right on those guesses. So, like, normal step cancel pressure, basically, like, how much is he mashing you out of stuff, really? This game, he's doing it a bit more, but even if he's mashing, right, like, I'm not sure you want to gamble with your staggers to counter his mash, because the gamble, like, yeah, you might get 90 damage, but the confirms for avoiding stagger are pretty good, and also him blocking stagger is kind of bad for you, right, because you're -1.
Yeah.
You're getting these flute feints, though. Or you're getting these flute avoid.
Now that one.
I think that was late.
Yeah.
That just kind of sucks.
I think I hesitated.
Yeah. I'd rather see you go for it on reaction and be late than do nothing at all. It's a good front stagger. It's a good front stagger if you see him delay press. Hold on, go back to that front stagger. So he's going to delay press some... Yeah, right about here. Okay. So, it... Pause for a sec. It looked for a second like... You got hit by the low back fist and just decided to front stagger. Right? You didn't wait for a delay press. That's what it looked like. You think that's what happened?
Well, when he used LBF, I imagine what went through my head at the time was that he was either going to mash another 12 frame, or step cancel it. If he was going to throw another flute swing, I have a feeling I was going to front stumble it anyway, like a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
But he did step cancel, and the initiator was a 12 frame for me, so
Yeah.
I felt it was safe to do so.
Well, if he immediately gold links flute, it's bad. But I forget who I was talking with about this. Oh, it was Bob. You can react to somebody gold linking. Right? So you know how people like Twitch react shit? Right? Imagine you block something and you're going to Twitch react to the next move. Right? So, so you take this low back fist. Immediately pressing front stagger can be kind of risky because you didn't block the low back fist, you ate it. So he's +6 again. So if he flutes you, you get hit by a flute. And that sucks. Right? And you know, one of the best things Perks has going for him is against you in this matchup is he wants to hit you with stuff so that your front stagger becomes bad, right? So he's going to play, or what he should be thinking about is playing timid till he can get in a void, confirm a 12, excuse me, get in a void, confirm a 12, you're -6, -7, then he can press heavy, right? And then you have to deal with that, and if you want to use staggers, he can feint into 12, or he can try to bait your stagger and avoid it for bigger confirms.
Okay.
That's what he should be thinking about, right? So when you get hit and then you immediately mash front stagger, like, yeah, you can say, oh, well, it's a read. but it's risky, right? And think about the amount of times he's just throwing flute, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
I think considering it now, if we rewatch it, I think maybe it was like an instant kind of like momentary understanding, if that makes sense.
yeah,
Um, he throws the LBF once,
yeah.
but I don't see the gold link, so perhaps I automatically assumed it was going to be a step cancel, or at least I had time,
Well,
because I don't see him like try to pressure like very quickly, which is probably going to mean I'll have time to react to a heavy if I try to go for the front stumble.
yeah. But if you go back and watch it again, what I think happened and what it looks like it happened, right, is you get hit and you just press front stagger. It's not
Hmm.
like you wait to press front stagger. You would have taken this low back fist later, I think.
I just want my turn back.
That's what I think happened, but let's watch it again. I want to be sure. Yeah. You could have reacted to not gold link there. Maybe you could have.
If anything, it was like
It's kind of close. It's hard to tell because I would have done something there too, not seeing the gold link, watching it back.
if anything, I subconsciously felt safe enough to do that, but
Yeah.
still risky. Oh, I have my sword up.
Now the pro move is to sheath it right here and shadow avoid him because you can get a spinning high kick liberty for unbreakable shadow avoid.
Yeah, I remember this fight now. Yeah, it doesn't go very well because I was practicing in the mindset that I was going to use my sword against Kyojin,
Yeah.
and Perks just only uses Unbreakable.
Well, okay, so go back for a sec. Let's go watch that stock again then. Because you can still pull sword into Unbreakable. Unbreakable doesn't make sword useless. In fact, it's much more likely that sword makes Unbreakable useless. Right? Yeah, this is
Yeah,
a good spot. Right? Imagine you just sheath it right here. Right? Before, you just took a couple hits on block, so now your sword health is down, so you're not going to get a crap ton
yeah,
of shards for this. But you would
like
have gotten enough for a Shadow Void. Or you can just hold it and pull sword after the Unbreakable's over, right? Because it costs 3 shards to do Unbreakable. Right? But now, right, you're like, oh, I have sword, and I'm playing against a guy with Unbreakable. I guess I'll just do nothing, right? You can just put it away, dude. And, like, yeah, it's a little difficult for Stagger to deal with because, like, you know, they don't take hit stun, so your Staggers don't really do anything. And, like, trying to read and just, like, stack up the Stagger buff can be very difficult. And in the time I've played Stagger, I've found that kind of hard to do. But that's also why you have Shadow Void. That will stop them, and then they take 330 damage for it. And you can also do it, like, you know, if they're, like, halfway through their Unbreakable, right? You tap block so they're halfway through the Unbreakable. And then you Shadow Avoid during the last half of Unbreakable, right? Their Unbreakable's gone after you hit them.
yeah,
Right?
and that's a lot of punish right there.
Yeah, I mean, well, the thing is, he's going to have Unbreakable again right after because he just took 300 damage and he probably has 2 shards, right?
Yeah, he had it like every 30 seconds, it felt like.
Yeah. Your other power is also Unbreakable?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm using the sharp sword for, the damage reasons. But if I do by chance lose that sword, I should at least try to use Unbreakable.
Well, the other thing you can do is you can Unbreakable and just hold block if you're that worried about it. Because you don't take stamina damage when you're breakable. Alright, some footsies. Now, if he was on it, I think he could have side avoided that backstagger on the spinning high kick. I think he could have. I'm not sure. Spinning high kick has actually has a bit of recovery when it gets dodged. Like when Phasian dodges my spinning high kick, I find it difficult to parry after sometimes. Oh, nice. Alright, so here's the thing. At this point, you got to start realizing if we went through the last couple of stocks, he's avoided most spinning high kicks, right?
Mm-hmm.
He took a few early in the game, but since he's taken those few, you've just been letting them go, and now he's avoided, like 6 of them, right? And you're eating it because you haven't realized that yet. Oh my, the audio. It's breaking.
The audio is?
Yeah, on the video. It's like a 4-bit audio. It's great.
Is it better?
Probably be better if you streamed.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and go back to the start of this game too.
Oh, we're starting over?
Yeah, just this game. Not the whole set, just that one game you saw 3 stocks of.
Good luck, boys.
Oh.
Bye, Hanger.
Adios. Why is this? We're just gonna do that.
Yeah, I invited the guides to come join if they wanted to, but it seems like you really want to.
Are you you are recording, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now I'm streaming unlisted to YouTube, and I'll decide later if I want to make it public.
Was it this one? No, it was up here. All right.
I probably will though.
I expect good content.
Might have to lower your expectations, alright.
Well.
Alright. I have a video editor and shit.
Well, I'm somewhat a perfectionist, so if it isn't at least 1080p, I'm suing.
It's always
For
1080p.
on my beautiful character's nose.
It's always 1080p.
Yeah, you wanted to restart this fight, but did we really pay attention to that?
No, I didn't. That's why I want to restart the fight. I was busy telling you shit. And I was gonna see if there was like anything super obviously wrong, but the game was just playing, and I was like, oh, keep saying stuff. So, yeah, your stream's fucking broken, dude.
What? I even turned off my stream.
Yeah, I know. Do it again.
Freaking heck.
Technical difficulties for the last Hour and a half, dude.
Isn't it great? Your stream currently has reduced video or audio quality. This might be due to network conditions. Oh, I love it. Oh, it's the best. I love having fucked internet right now. Yeah, my issue is so we need to get a wireless router because for some reason our regular router works for hardwire, but it doesn't want to connect to anybody through Wi-Fi now. So that's troublesome. Also, why isn't this working? There we go.
Well, I know a guy who works at Google. Probably hook you up.
Heck yeah. That sounds sick. All right. Are we good?
Yeah, we're good.
All right. Nope. Panic front stagger. When no other answer, just front stagger.
Wow, you're streaming your video folder. I don't know if you know that.
Oh my freaking god. It's just not gonna.
Bro,
Come on.
just have to press 3 buttons.
It.
Or just
Okay.
Or just share
So
your screen.
when I open up screen share,
Yeah.
now the media player is up, right?
Yep.
It's but when I have it not clicked on, it won't show it available.
Have you thought about just sharing your screen and not worrying about the specific app?
I can probably just do that.
I don't know. Probably hide your hentai first.
I don't have. This is a strictly business
Listen,
computer.
I don't want to see what you want to do to the yordles, right?
Listen, man. Look at my wallpaper. I am too basic for that.
Stream is paused though. I can't look at.
Why is everything like this? Is it working?
Are you streaming Discord? I think you're streaming Discord and not your screen.
Oh, for the love of God.
Right? You go to stream, right?
Yep.
You share your screen. You go to screens and use screen 1. You want to share screen 1 with me.
Aha.
Okay.
There
you
we go. I swear I am an intelligent human being.
Fab Master Lord Shakura Galaxy. I fucking that name.
Rolls right off the tongue.
Yep. All right, let's watch this. Except actually this time. All right, taking cleaver for apparently no reason. What? Okay. You keep backstragging face back fist. I don't know if that's just vanilla habits, but even if it is, you gotta stop that shit. Seen you do it like
Yeah.
8 times.
I'm starting to feel the effects of tilt here. I'm just like panicking.
Oh, I like the
every-
faint side stagger on the axe kick. I like that a lot.
I think that was the first fainted spinning high. That's my controller. My controller cable, if I bump it, it like freezes my screen.
I see. You have a PS4 control?
Yup.
Yeah, my shit did something similar. Oh my.
Yup.
You can be a little bit more patient with your staggers. It's getting you into a lot of trouble because you're like, oh, I need to do something. I'm kind of a bad spot. But you also don't
Um,
see him doing anything when you stagger a lot of the time. And then it's costing you stamina because you're like, oh, he's not doing anything. I should faint, right?
yeah, my patience with my staggers is something I've been working on, like proactively. Last time I fought Gimmick, I got this idea in my head that a lot of the times instead of just attacking, I should just stop and let my opponent attack and prepare to style or block or
Yeah,
mash if it's
because
available.
if you can leverage more and more of a stamina advantage, right, just limit your opponent's options so much. Yeah. Because right now, right, it seems like you're kind of panicking, and then you end up blocking a bunch of heavies, and then you're blocking these heavies. You
That was a bad feint right there.
right, you block the
That was
heavies, and then you're like, oh crap, I'm low stamina. I gotta do something, and then you're like, oh wait, he's not doing anything, right? Or you're just getting hit.
yeah, and he's not reacting to a lot of the things that I'm trying to get him to react to, and that's just adding fuel to my fucking dumpster fire.
Yeah. Like
Yeah, that's tough.
not reacting to axe kick there is. It's funny as he feints axe kick more. Yeah,
That was such a delayed
that's
reaction.
well. Even so, you probably still would have got a hit. You probably still would have gotten hit by rabbit punch.
Oh, it was a delayed reaction on my end. I saw the flute like entirely get fainted, and I still went for it.
I mean, I don't think
Yeah,
that's a huge
that's a
problem.
player there. Yeah.
So, how many times has he thrown reverse elbow in the last two stocks?
Not often.
Like
I haven't.
barely, if at all, right?
Yeah.
You can be mashing after blocking low back fist, right? Like he thinks, right? Think about like the first game, and we are talking about like your front stagger getting broken by reverse elbow, right? He's seen that a couple times, and now he's like, oh, he's gonna respect me there, right? So now he thinks he can press flute, but he doesn't really get to press flute because you should just mash there. And just mashing, even if you get hit by low back fist, right? Just mashing after low back fist is stronger than front stagger for sure. Because you beat flute even if you get hit. And if he the only punish is reverse elbow, which does like 80 damage. So it's not a huge punish. And
I
then
think what I'm
you have to deal
seeing,
with liver knee, right? You have to deal with liver knee. But that's not the worst thing in the world.
I'm not fainting.
Oh, my friend, you're lagging. You're lagging out. Reduced video or audio quality. This may be due to work conditions.
There it goes.
Yeah, you lagged out when you tried to say something. You got the whole robot voice, and you're just like...
It just can't be easy.
Why'd you close your stream? Just let it go. It'll eventually fix itself. Unless you don't even have a stream, but you had a stream. So that's what I can see happening, right? I can see from the last game, right? He pressed reverse elbow after low back fist a few times, and now you're really keen on avoiding these flutes, right? Also because, you've been respecting the flute. You've been trying to avoid it a lot, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking interactions over like a dozen times flute has been presented, right? Or the low back fist situation has been presented.
And I have been fucking it up. Like, I
And
think that's what's getting at me is that like I'm not getting the timing that I'm looking for,
yeah,
and I'm just eating it.
well, there's two ways to go about the situation. You can be more proactive in MASH, right? Or you can be excuse me, I was about to belch up my hamburger I ate for lunch.
Oh,
Yeah. That would have been bad. Right.
that
You
would have
can
been
either be more
pretty
proactive
fun.
in MASH because the punish is low back fist or reverse elbow, and you're not risking flute, right? That's if you think he's gonna press flute a bunch, right? And I find if you're paying attention to the rhythm, and the rhythm means a lot of things, by the way. The rhythm that Perks is trying to avoid stuff, right? It can be pretty easy to mix them once you've mashed them, right? But you guys are adapting not over the course of 2 or 3 interactions or even 1 or 2 interactions. You're adapting over the course of like 6 to 10 interactions. Like, oh, this has happened a couple times, I should probably start doing this, right? It's not like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, he did this last time, I'm going to do something else to throw a wrench in his mix, like right now. You guys are very slow to adapt. I shouldn't say very slow. There are people that are slower, but you get the point.
Yeah. I think my issue is that I'm not forcing him to adapt. I was saying at least within this last match, I saw next to no proper feints from my bare hands moves.
Yeah.
Uh, but I was feinting my staggers, so he didn't feel scared to be avoided because I was gonna feint my stagger, and he had no qualms dodging anything because I was just letting shit rip.
There's also you can also try to react to flute, or you can try to react to like a situation like like rabbit flute, right? Where he has rabbit low back fist or rabbit flute, right? And you can try to react. I've been working on this, and I can do it with some consistency, right? I can kind of see that there's a big delay in the time that I should be getting hit on my block, and I can react with mash to that delay. It's kind of an option select, but basically you can block something, and if there's something really delayed, you can try to mash it. I've been pretty good about that with anything that's 20 frames and slower. Faster than that, you can't do it.
Hmm.
But that's an interesting thing to think about. But like, yeah, you can see just replay the last stock even. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so you haven't adapted yet to the past 6 times he's ducked spinning high kick. You keep throwing it because he got hit by it or blocked it the first 2 or 3 times in the first game, right?
Just makes me wonder why I'm not like I would hope eventually I would realize, hey, feint one of these, but it's just not occurring to me. I don't
Yeah.
know what would be going through my head at this time. I mean, a lot of frustration, I imagine.
Well, you're also fainting when he's given you little reason to faint. Like, he hasn't done much to try to avoid your safe strings, or I don't think he has. So you should be trying to get him to, like, because he's mashing you. He'll mash you a lot that game because you're fainting stuff, and you want to show him stuff to make him respect it, but he's not. Now, I kind of like the duck, even though we got liver need, but
It was a really early dodge.
yeah, like once you see him faint these flutes, like you should be trying to mash where he has flute available. Oh, that was a good reset. You haven't done that yet.
Uh-oh. Yep.
Yeah, so you can guess side dodge there, but why would you guess side dodge there when you have certainly a bunch of stamina and, you know, it's just flute? You can try to mash the flute on reaction, right?
I probably thought I could do anything at that point just to make something happen, but
Yeah.
nope, I should have
Well,
front stumped.
the other thing is you can just tap block and avoid flutes or feint avoid flutes to leverage stamina, and then right he's gonna try to start doing these heavies to try and get through your block, and that's either gonna make him mashable or it's gonna make him reactable, right? And you can choose which one of those at the moment is more appealing to you. And you might make a different decision based on his stamina as well. Like if he still has a decent bit of stamina and he's throwing a lot of heavies, might be uh, inclined to try and avoid. But low stamina, might want to mash him to try and get your turn back and break his guard. Now that kind of sucks. That's supposed to be safe. Rabbit elbow, but he mashed it. That's weird. Could be a gold link thing, but I doubt it. Oh, I respect the spinning high kick feint though. I wouldn't expected him to side dodge there. So over the last two games, go back a bit. Over the last two games, right? You've been kind of impatient about a lot of stuff, right? So he's low stamina, right? And now he gets a bunch of damage he shouldn't be getting, right? Because you gotta wait for him to stop attacking, right? He'll start regenerating stamina, but when you see him start regenerating stamina, you can then decide to mash him, right? But you've been really impatient, right? So these step cancels for him at low stamina are catching you. You're taking a lot more damage, right? You could have a full health bar right now, or close to one. You were a little bit more patient, right? And being patient doesn't necessarily mean being timid either, right? A lot of like timid people, they don't like press their advantage once they have it, right? But a lot of really good players that are patient. Like I think Poppy's a really good example of this, especially for Stagger. He's a very patient player. But when he has his turn, he's going to press, you know, his turn to the frame advantage he has as best he can. Or that's how I feel when I fight him, right? Crotches.
Ouch. Yeah, no, I heard you.
Okay.
Uh, it's really easy, really unreasonably easy to get lost in how easy it is to just do stagger.
Yeah.
Like a prime example of that is the wobble low face back fist that I keep getting hit with, or whatever that is specifically. I'll get hit with wobble low while I'm side stumbling. And then because I got hit with wobble low, I'll just like that instantly think, all right, I need to back stumble. Uh, and then I'll get hit with face back fist, and this coincides with not having patience. But this is what happens when
Yeah.
you get tilted and frustrated and confused as to why things aren't working.
Yeah. So yeah, there's a couple things about this set I want you to think about, and we'll just watch this one set. I think this one set was really good to watch. We can do another VOD review another time, but
That's not the end
I
of
think
our
this was
lines yet.
good and gave us a lot to talk about uh, things to improve.
I mean, usually losses are the best things to review anyway.
Yeah, but
This was a dumpster fire.
I don't think
I'm
it was a dumpster
confused.
fire. Like, you had a chance to win two of these games he won. You had a chance to win the last game, and there was another game that came down to like the last two hits, right? And if those two games went your way instead, you'd be ahead right now, right? So like,
Yeah,
yeah, the score looks bad, but I don't think this set was it wasn't like it wasn't close. So I think close sets are really good because it's like, there were enough inconsistencies in your play to realize something went wrong. And if you just tightened up a couple of things, right, in these close sets, you know, you can start turning things that were, you know, barely losses into pretty consistent wins, right? So you've done the double reset spinning high kick a couple times now, and he's realized that, at any time he's just got to react to spinning high kick, and he's windfall, so he can afford to do that because the punishes aren't. Maybe he'll take a liberty, maybe he won't. Sometimes God loves a windfall, and they don't even have to take the liberty.
hmm he has plenty of time to double dodge if he does it early enough.
Not plenty of time. It's really hard to do, or or if you let it go, it would have hit him. It's hard to tell sometimes. I like the pressure. Yeah, see, like you did a bunch of safe stuff there, right? And if you did like more safe stuff like last game, right, or the last two games, right, what happened was you were trying to make him respect these heavies by showing him these heavies, and he's just mashing you, right? Right now, he's got like you're being impatient and you're taking a lot of these step cancels. Like you're
Oh
taking
yeah.
a lot of his 12 openers. Like you guys will be in neutral, and you'll take a bunch of 12 openers, and then he'll stop for a second, and then you take another one, and it's like you can be a little bit more patient, right? So here, let's go watch the whole last stock again. Not this stock, the one before this one.
Oh well, that's
I'll
all in
show
my
you what
bag.
I'm talking about.
Believe it's this one.
Yeah, I think so.
Why would I do that?
Um, yeah, he ducks another spinning high. Like, how many times have you done spinning high kick liver knee? I don't think I've seen you do it once this set.
Probably not.
Right.
I tend to forget about
All right, spinning
spinning
high
high
kick
liver.
temple knock is also fine because you can also press liver knee after that. Right, this is the stock I want to see. Right, there are so many times, like, I think he's avoided it more than he's blocked it or eaten it, right? But most of the time, against, like, really good players, and Perks is getting better, right? Against
Oh yeah.
against players that, you know, have eyes and are watching their screen, you're going to have to feint spinning high kick a lot more than you throw it. But you have to throw it just enough. You got to make him think, well, he could have thrown it, right? Yeah, like if you liver kneed right there, that would have hit him, and then you'd be cleavering him. Do you have cleaver? No, you have sidekick. You have sidekick.
It's
I was thinking of
yeah.
my deck. So like here, a bunch of times. Go back 10, 20 seconds.
Yeah, that would have been a good feint
Right.
punish, right?
Like, even right now, even if you blocked the flute, you would be stamina neutral. You'd be even in stamina, right? And you gotta really think about that. Like, a lot of people are really afraid to block these, like, 20, 22 frame moves. And it's not always the end of the world if you block it, right? Even there, all right, so here's the thing. He just blocked the spinning high kick, and he still has more stamina than you. Right, that's what I'm talking about. Oh, no, you could have killed him.
Yeah.
A choke. But yeah, if you go watch that, there are times. Let's watch the last talk again. I wish we could watch it in like slow motion.
Is there even a way to do that?
Is there? Speed.
How slow? Half? 0.5? Or
0.5 is fine. Might be really slow though. Okay. Like right here. Yeah, that flute in particular. If you blocked that flute instead of eating it, right, you would have been stamina neutral with him. Go back 10 seconds.
bad tap blocking on those 12 frames.
Right here. Right, you would have been even in stamina with him. Maybe slightly lower. But even so, he's doing all this stuff to feint, right? Yeah, and I can't tell. Here, go back to normal speed and go back 10 seconds. Yeah, after this flute, you end up taking a bunch of hits, and I can't tell if it's because you're mashing or fucking up the tap block.
It's definitely the tap blocks.
You think it is?
Mm-hmm. I have a tendency to wait a little too long on my tap blocks.
It looks like tap block mess ups. Which I'd rather see you be a little bit more conservative. Well, I mean, this isn't a serious set, so it's fine. But, you know, it's okay to be more conservative, and just like any amount of stamina you get back from tap blocking, okay. Like when you're taking, you know, you took maybe 6-12 frames. This stock from messing up your tap block.
Yeah.
Which is like 2 spinning high kicks.
Yeah, that was a rough one. I mean, I agree with the patience issue. That's like half the reason why like most players move on from stagger, because it can be so easy to abuse, and then the punishment for it often. It's just a really bad habit of just reacting on stumble.
Well, what what ends up happening to a lot of stagger players is they're like, oh, the stagger is good, right? Not only do I have an avoid, they also, like, if I mess up the avoid, they have to deal with, I could still hit them, and, it just slows the game down, and it makes them have to consider everything, right? But I'm looking at Poppy right now as, the best stagger right now. And he's very patient. And I think about when he won the first Jade Fest as well. Like, he was very patient. It was really hard to open him up. And even if he blocked a flute, even if he blocked a spinning high kick, right? Like, eventually, like, you're going to show enough of your pattern that he's going to avoid something. He's going to get some stamina buff. And or he'll just, like, he'll get his turn back, and once he has his turn back, he's gonna open you up, and he's gonna roll you over, right? What I see here is, sometimes you're mashing and you're getting hit for it. Sometimes you're messing up your tap block and getting hit for it. Sometimes you're avoiding, you're guessing on an avoid. Like, you back dodged face back fist many times. You didn't need to back dodge for face back fist, right? Like, you can try to read their rhythm, and it's okay to make those reads sometimes, right? And if it works the first or the second time, it's okay to keep making those reads. But once it doesn't work twice, right, is
you gotta fix it somehow.
you gotta look for something else to attack in their play, right? You have to look for something else in their play to exploit, right? Because obviously, when you're guessing for whatever you're guessing, I like to think about it as guessing at their rhythm of when they're gonna place a heavy or a light, right? Once you mess up that a couple times, like, you could be really behind, right? And if you keep committing to it, because there are a lot of times you side avoided, like he won't be doing anything, and you'll do a stagger, right? And there were times you got into stamina trouble for it, and we saw you take some hits for it, right? When you could tap block, or you could hold block more, right? And you can try to force him to throw these heavies, right? With just good patient defense. And then once he starts throwing these heavies, right, either you crush him with the stagger stamina advantage, right, or he becomes very mashable, and he'll have less stamina than you, right?
Yeah.
And if you go back and look, especially in the middle games, right, you'll see in the first game, right, he either ate or blocked the spinning high kick, and if you see in the middle games, he ducks a lot more spinning high kicks, but you haven't adapted yet to feint spinning high kick. And in my deck, right, I have spinning high kick in top right too, right? But when I feinted against a windfall, sometimes I will wait for them to duck, then react to their duck with temple knock. And that's fine too, right? But you can also just press it into Liverny, right? Because I don't think Perks has shown you enough to demand you respect his defense like that you have to wait for him to avoid and then punish him for deciding to avoid, right? It's not really like that. But even if you did that, right, even if you waited for him to avoid, then press temple knock, then you get to press liver knee, right, and then you get to do sidekick mix, and that's all good stuff for you.
all of this really stems from just a little bit more patience, just a smidge.
Yeah, that's probably the biggest problem, right? Well, it's also like not changing your how you're approaching on offense. Like once he's adapted to it, right?
Yeah.
You didn't change. You changed a little bit sometimes, but you didn't adapt very much back to how he was respecting your spinning high kick, right?
Well,
And
there's a lot
that was a
of
big one for me.
there's
Is
a lot of ways that I could adapt, specifically because I'm stagger. Um, like the wobble low face back fist thing. Uh, on reaction, a lot of the time, I'm pretty sure I'm getting hit with face back fist because I want to back stumble wobble low. And then
why
I'll get because it's
why
just so.
back stumble wobble low at all?
You don't have to. This is just more or less if I'm in the situation where I'm already reacting like on that, speed, I could still get out of the face back fist, but I'd have to double stumble on that.
Well,
And that's like one of the adaptations I just didn't think of. Double
yeah,
stumble.
you can do that, but that's kind of risky and hard to pull off, and also it's gonna burn a lot of your stamina, right?
Yeah.
To feint, like imagine you feint 2 staggers and you're wrong twice. Like he
That hurts.
like he fainted, right, or something, right? Or he like feints and avoid. Like if you want to, like the answer isn't more staggers.
Right.
The answer isn't more staggers.
The
Here,
answer is that I need to change what I'm doing if it's not working.
there might be a day where more staggers is the right answer, but this is not that day,
Hopefully not.
right?
Hopefully not.
No, I'm serious. I'm serious about sometimes more staggers to get like more stamina buffs, or just to like make someone just like slow down and be like, "What are you doing?" Right? Like,
Throw them
but
off their game.
this is not it, right? He is
Not afraid.
he's catching. Well, yeah, he's not afraid. There were a lot of times in the middle games, right? You were getting hit by like these stray 12s and yeah, by stray 12s, right? And then you'd be like, "Oh, I'm
Mhm.
getting hit. I got to slow down." And then you mess up against the heavies. And it's like, even if you blocked some of those heavies, like, well, sometimes you'd block 3 or 4 heavies, and then you're like, "Oh wait, I got to do something," right? And that's kind of bad too. So
Fuck,
so
man.
there are times I don't feel like you're reacting to the weaknesses of a particular stance. So like the flute stance, right? How much did you mash after low back fist?
Not
How
often,
much
I
did you
think.
mash after rabbit punch? Now he did rabbit punch low back fist a lot. Or why not front stagger after rabbit punch? He did a couple times. He could have done it a little bit more. Right? He didn't like avoid a lot of your front staggers.
No, I don't think he
Right?
avoided any of them.
I think he avoided 2. But like he's not like it's not like feint avoiding into your front staggers, right?
Right.
Um,
I don't honestly understand why I was respecting so much with my feint stumbles, but
and then
I feel like a lot of that was why I lost.
he has like the cleaver wobble FBF Burra stuff on the other side of his deck, right? And you can be pretty patient even with cleaver, right? Against cleaver, honestly, you can tap block it for a really long time, and like, yeah, eventually it'll break your guard. And you are slightly stam negative for tap blocking it well. But it's gonna take a long time. And in the time he's like pressing cleaver on you, either he's gonna do something predictable, or he's gonna do like unsafe heavies you can mash, or he's just gonna lose on stamina because eventually he's gonna go back to his 12s. And you have to respect face back fist and axe kick a little bit more than in cleaver, right? Because I think he has cleaver spinning high kick, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah.
Right. Spinning
was
high
it-
kick, you can definitely mash on reaction. Surely you can, right? So like you
Mhm.
block the cleaver, and then you see the wind up for spinning high kick, and you just press a button. You just press 12, right? Or you can block cleaver and front stagger, right?
Yep.
But you didn't do that very much, right? You panicked with like mash and side avoids, right? And you can be attacking the specific weaknesses of these stances a little bit more, right? Like for the cleaver stance, it's that, you know, you block cleaver and you can front stagger, or you can wait for spinning high kick and mash it, or you can wait for him to do something a little bit more predictable and
Away with it.
leverage your stamina. Leverage your stamina more, right? So there are times stamina got you into trouble and you take a flute. You take some more poke, right? You didn't really break your guard that much, which is interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, so there were 2 games you could have won, and then the last game you could have won as well, but you messed up the guard break confirm, right? So
Big sad.
imagine, you know, you get those 3 games, it's 4-2 in your favor. Not
Yeah.
5-1.
It
So
looks a lot worse on paper than it really is.
yeah. So I think this is a really good match to watch, and I think you should watch it again just to see what I'm talking about. I'll even type to you talking about.
I can probably do that. Yeah. I'm probably gonna go back to sleep for a little bit, but you know.
That's good. But yeah, watch 3 or 4 of the games, and you'll see what I'm saying about some of this stuff. But yeah, some of it is like, and in the last game where you kept messing up tap blocking, right? And it affected you later where you took like 3 more 12s, right? It's like, okay, I like I've messed up tap blocking too, right? So like I get it. But like once that's happened, it's like you got to be a little bit more eager
Proactive. You
to
gotta
hold
watch.
the block button a little bit less, like you don't play PS4 anymore, but like on PS4 you can still tap block, but it's more rhythmic, it's not reactive, right? So
Right.
when you start messing up tap blocking, you kind of have to think about it as a more rhythmic thing rather than like reacting to their movement and trying to press block, because that'll get you into some trouble. That's when you start messing up tap blocking, when you treat it as only reactionary, and rather than, all right, on a rhythm, I gotta just press a block at this time to absolutely be safe. But I'll get a little bit less stamina back, but I won't get hit, right?
You know, hold that thought. I gotta go to the bathroom.
All right.
I'm struggling.
Well, for anyone who might be watching this on YouTube, I'm gonna leave it with Krutches taking a piss.